The future of Black America is fatigue. New video evidence from the Carmelo Anthony murder case, trial, whatever you want to call it, has officially been released. Video evidence that, in the mind of a normal human being, clearly shows that Carmelo Anthony murdered Austin Metcalf. He admitted to murdering Austin Metcalf. There's really no two ways about it. The future of Black America is fatigue. Because though we have the evidence, there was a lot of speculation. People were saying he was jumped. Big old boys jumped on Carmelo. Carmelo knew somebody under the tent. Austin Metcalf was on top of him, beating on him. There was all types of speculation. And it makes sense that people would speculate in a situation like this where the murder was seemingly so, unnecessary, right? The human mind naturally goes to this like assumption that there are some type of dire circumstances that lead to something like what happened with Carmelo stabbing Austin. We try to rationalize it in our brain. Well, maybe he was getting jumped. Maybe they surrounded him. Maybe there was something where he felt his life was under threat. People try to rationalize it. That's the normal process of human thinking. But then we got the footage. And though we're looking and we're seeing the footage that is showing us that nothing that was assumed actually took place, and the footage actually very closely resembled exactly what was said by these 23 witnesses on the stand, Black America chose to reject video evidence. The group of folks that say we want the receipts and seeing is believing, and if I don't see it, it ain't true. What happens when a group of people gets to the point where you can show them something in front of their face and they can look at it and see it and still outright reject it in the name of lies and ignorance? Where does a group of people go? Like, where do we go mentally? Where do we go morally when we can look and see what happened and still find a way to reject it? Better yet, what happens when the word of a grifter like Tariq Nasheed, or a grifter like Willie D, a grifter, the list goes, there's a list in the Black community. Somebody like Umar Johnson. What happens when a group of people chooses to take the words of grifters over what they can see with their own eyes? That is my only question to you. That is my only question to you. And the only thought that came in my mind when I asked myself that this morning was, the future of Black America is fatigue. I am Brandon Tucker. This is Defiant Brandon. Welcome back to Accountability. Please subscribe. Now, I have more evidence. I have something some of you guys may have never seen before or heard, because I didn't know that it was out. I have the 911 call that some of Austin Metcalf's friends made to the police department immediately after Austin Metcalf was stabbed. Now, a lot of people are looking at the video footage that shows Carmelo Anthony running through the bleachers, and people who are honest will say, you really can't see anything. And that's the truth. You really can't see much. Now, I've seen black people, only black people. Man, I'm looking at this video, I can't see crap. I hear black people talk about, oh, you could see he was getting jumped. You could see 4 boys was on top of him. You could see what the boy had for dinner. You could see what was on his mind. They swear they have like this, that they're seeing all this detail in a grainy video where you can't really make out anything other than Karmelo Anthony leaving the tent, running across the bleachers, falling down the bleachers, getting up, running down the walkway, being followed by a few boys who are trying to identify him and let people know he just stabbed somebody, being grabbed by the coach, trying to fight with the coach, and then ultimately you switch to the police officer's body cam, and that's where you hear Karmelo Anthony admit that he stabbed Austin Metcalf, saying, I'm not alleged, I actually did it. How black people are coming to all these conclusions and how they saw all this stuff that clearly ain't in no video is beyond me. But the only conclusion I could come to is that there's a contingent of black America that has made a choice in their mind that no matter what black Americans do going forward, no matter how heinous, how criminal, how immoral, how debased or degenerate, they are going to make excuses for it. Not only make excuses for it, they are going to attempt to find a way to make the victims the criminals, the villains, and to make the killers or the actual criminals into heroes. At this point, they're going to put Karmelo Anthony on the Mount Rushmore of blackness. They're going to put Karmelo Anthony on the Mount Rushmore of blackness because this guy is turning into a black American folk hero. They're going to put this guy right up there with John Henry. They're going to put this dude right up there with Paul Bunyan because none of what they're saying is actually true, but they are reciting it like his scripture, like they went to a class, were told exactly what to say, like they were coached on what to say, and were told to double down on it in spite of all evidence that is presented. That is the way. It's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. How someone can know they are lying and continue to tell that lie in the face of all evidence is beyond me. And then you even got black people here. Who paid you to say this? Who paid me to tell the truth? Who paid you to lie? Who paid you to lie? Who paid you to lie? What are you getting in exchange for throwing away all your credibility? Because here's the thing about when you tell a lie. Even the people who are lying with you, they'll never trust you because you've shown them that you have the capacity to lie. You've shown them that you have the capacity to be dishonest. I want to tell you something. Women, you got a husband? He over here defending Karmelo Anthony, knowing he lying because knowing that stuff didn't happen? Watch him. Check his phone. Husbands, you got a wife? She on this internet defending Karmelo Anthony, up here lying, knowing she ain't seen nothing. But yeah, I saw him getting jumped. And girl, this, and that. Check her damn phone. Because people who are capable of that level of deception, as a matter of fact, you can't even call it deception because they ain't fooling nobody. We all know they lying. But to be able to continue to lie. There's a scripture in the Bible. Do you know that the Bible does not say that people who lie will not inherit God's kingdom? The Bible says anyone loving a lie. It doesn't say sinners will not inherit God's kingdom. It says anyone practicing sin, meaning you're continuously doing it. And that's what you see with black people now. Black people went from lying like anybody else, all groups lie, but now we're falling in love with lies. We're falling in love with the lie. Because I've watched all this Karmelo Anthony footage, all this evidence, all this video, listened to these testimonies, read up on these court cases, and there is no way in hell you can tell me that there are people out here still trying to, things that people were lying about before the footage was released. They've seen the footage. you can see that the boy wasn't jumped. You can see that there was no big commotion under the tent until after Karmelo left out of the tent. They're still like, he was jumped. 5 boys jumped on him. 5 big old boys jumped on Karmelo. He stabs one of them in the heart, and they just let him walk on down the walkway. Oh, yeah, he stabbed. I was just trying to kill this black guy. He stabs my friend in the heart, and I'm going to just let him wander on down the walk. This is a lie. It was such a calm situation. Even when you listen to this 911 call, it's calm around that. You don't hear them fighting and, where is he at? I'm trying to get him. It's calm. We're going to get into this 911 call. I know you guys haven't heard this 911 call because y'all been too busy on the internet. I don't even think most black folks, a lot of black folks, too many black folks, I don't even think they're looking for new evidence. I think they just made up in their mind that Karmelo is innocent, and they don't even want to see anything that might convince them of anything otherwise. But let's get into this right here. This is the 911 call made by Austin Metcalf's friend after Karmelo Anthony stabbed him.
Frisco 911, what is the location of the emergency?
Hi, we're at Kuykendall Stadium. My friend just got stabbed.
Okay, do you know who stabbed?
We have no clue. He was sitting in our tent, but you need to send an ambulance right now.
They're on the way, okay? Give me a description of the person that stabbed him.
He was wearing a gray Essentials hoodie. He was black. He's standing out on the track right now.
He's standing on the track?
Yeah.
Okay.
His blue sweatpants on.
We had a little technical difficulty right there. I'm going to start it over because I want you guys to hear how these guys are like, we have no clue who this is, but he just stabbed our friend.
Frisco 911, what is the location of the emergency?
Hi, we're at Kuykendall Stadium. My friend just got stabbed.
Okay, do you know who stabbed him?
We have no clue. He was sitting in our tent, but you need to send an ambulance right now.
They're on the way, okay? Give me a description of the person that stabbed him.
He was wearing a gray Essentials hoodie. He was black. He's standing out on the track right now.
He's standing on the track?
Yeah.
Okay.
His blue sweatpants on and gone.
Okay, what did he stab your friend with?
I don't know. My friend's bleeding everywhere.
Okay. Okay. Where was he stabbed at?
The chest.
Okay. And do you still see the person that stabbed him, or did he leave?
It was Austin. Austin got stabbed in the chest. I'm sorry, what did you say?
The person that stabbed him, is he still there? Do you still see him?
There's adults on him, I think. Yeah.
There's adults that are trying to keep him there?
I don't know who he is. Sorry, what?
The person that stabbed your friend, is he still there?
Yeah, he's still here.
Okay, and
He's with the coach.
There's a coach with him?
Yes, he's with. People got him.
Okay. Do you know if he still has the weapon on him?
No clue, but he's like he can't do nothing. He's done.
What do you mean?
He stabbed Austin Metcalf in the chest. What?
What do you mean he can't do anything? What's going on with him?
Coaches have him. He can't hurt anyone.
Okay, when you say they have him, are they physically holding him down?
No, they're just holding him, walking around.
Now, let me ask you this question. They're in Frisco, Texas. Majority of people there are white. This boy done just stabbed a white boy who's a football star in the chest. You can hear the boy say, he stabbed Austin Metcalf in the chest. Like, I think Austin Metcalf is somebody people know around that area, right? He sounds like he's pretty important. Where was the Klan? Where was the KKK? Where was the white supremacists in the trucks with the noose to come down here and get this little black boy who just stabbed this white boy in the chest, apparently for no reason? See, this is the type of stuff that thinking folks ponder. If this area is as racist as they say, you wouldn't have been able to make it out the parking lot. If this place is as racist as they say, you would not have been able to make it out the parking lot. There are even places where I live in California. You beat somebody in a football game, they'll be on your ass like flies on shit. You won't even make it to the bus. But you're trying to convince me that these people are just inherently racist and they're just bloodthirsty savages and they are just and I'm like, if that was the case, why are they calmly calling 911 instead of going to whoop off in his ass? Because I know if you stab my friend in the chest, damn the coaches and everybody else, I'm going to be trying to get to your ass. I'm not even going to be able to call 911 the way I'm going to be trying to whoop your ass. See, that alone to me proves that this whole race baiting angle is a lie. It's something that happened. Two boys got into it. And as you would expect, if you're a civilized human being, someone called 911. The adults, the authorities, got a hold of Karmelo, and they waited with him. They didn't even have to grab him, and they waited until the police came, right? Somebody said, why did Karmelo run? You think he was running to go get a bag of chips? He was running because he was scared. Well, if he was scared, why did he throw the knife? If I'm scared and I'm running away because someone's trying to hurt me, why would I get rid of my weapon, which is the only means of protection I have? Why would I do that? And I'm trying to get y'all to understand. If you're surrounded by all these big ass football players, how is it that when you stabbed one in the chest, how is it that all the other ones didn't jump on you and start beating the shit out of you? There's just way too much. There's way too many holes in this argument. Then, after this too, so I love what everyone said. He ran to an adult and da-da-da-da-da. I'm going to play you guys the body cam footage. We have the body cam footage now where he talks to the cop and tells the cop what happened. He never said they was jumping on me. He never said they was attacking me. They was chasing me. He never said none of that, which tell you guys have a story that Karmelo Anthony didn't even think of. How do you have a story that totally goes against the story that the person involved said? But you have to be an intelligent person who is mature to think like that. Actually, you don't. You just have to have a brain in your head. Because even my 16-year-old daughter could look at this and say, that guy should have never had a knife at the track meet and there was no need to stab anybody. Do me a favor. If you are a person who likes to have accountability, who loves accountability, honesty, truth, transparency, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Over 70% of you are not subscribed. And I feel like everyone who has common sense, this is a time when we need to be coming together. The Bible says that there's going to be a time when you separate the sheep from the goats. These folks over here condoning this violence, these people trying to excuse murder, these people asking for Barabbas instead of asking for Jesus to be freed, right? Remember in the Bible, the people who love lawlessness. That's why Jesus used to say, you workers of lawlessness. You might have never knew what that meant until right now. These people defending Karmelo Anthony, that's exactly what they are. They're workers of lawlessness. And if they weren't afraid that they would be locked away in prison for the rest of their life, they would try to kill us. They would try to kill us just so we wouldn't be able to speak the truth. It's just so we wouldn't be able to speak the truth to power. Black people made up that term, speak the truth to power. It's so sad now to see other black people, too many black people over here protecting a killer and using malicious lies to do so. So if you like what this channel is about, subscribe to the channel. Let's see a uptick in subscriptions. We're at 23,000. Let's get to 24.
Okay.
Okay. He was under our seat. Austin tried to make a move.
And do you see any of the responders there yet?
We hear the sirens, but
Okay.
the coach has sent us out. We're all walking to our buses.
Okay. So you're going to get on a bus right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the rest of the students are walking towards the buses?
Yeah, everyone's being evacuated out the stadium.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being quick.
Okay. Just follow.
The kid is thanking the 911 operator. Thank you so much for being quick. These are kids who are civilized. I'm not just talking about the white kids either. Frisco, Texas has good kids. The only thug who murdered somebody was a transplant from ghetto-ass Baton Rouge, Louisiana, who tried to bring that thug mindset over to Frisco. His parents raised him to be like that. He took to their rearing, which was ghetto and degenerate. He walked around with a knife. He was looking for someone to hurt. He had that plan in his mind far beyond. Austin Metcalf was just the unfortunate soul who so happened to come into contact with Carmelo Anthony when he was in his degeneracy phase. What person who's going to compete in a track meet brings a knife to the track meet? What person does that? You are there to run, not kill. You're there to run, not kill. But you managed to kill somebody and you just so happen to have the weaponry you needed to do it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I would have gave this dude 99 years.
Well, whatever directions you're being provided by either the officers or by your coaches, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect with you, Nathan, but we've got all kinds of help headed that way.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. This boy is thanking the lady. He's thanking the 911 operator.
And we are getting a look at what the jury...
For being quick. For being quick with with typing up everything and getting the first responders out there. But you guys want me to think that this was a Klan rally, basically. And Karmelo, poor little Karmelo. How come none of the other black kids got bullied or beat up or punched or anything like that? That's my question. How come why were there no other reports of lynchings that day? There's plenty of black kids there. It's a track meet. Why was it just him? And why does the black community sacrifice the credibility of the entire community to save one degenerate? I don't know if you guys know this, but my father is in prison, right? My father's in jail for life. He ain't getting out. He didn't even kill nobody. Do you realize how stupid I would be to try to argue on his behalf and say, well, he didn't really do that stuff that they said he did? I mean, he pled not guilty at the trial. But deep down inside, the nigga knew he did it. He knew he did it, and he knew he had done every other thing that led to him getting 1, 2, 3 strikes, and then bam, he's done. Why? Imagine throwing your credibility away to defend somebody who is so damn degenerate and murderous that they stab somebody through the heart when they could have just walked away. Well, Karmelo, listen, this is the nature of everything. If I can walk away with no problem after I after I impale you through the heart, I probably have the ability to walk away before I impelled you through the heart. Black America is that little bit of right there around every hood in every major urban city in America. That's where Black America is. That's where it is. And there's some that are there willingly, and there are some that are captive. And we trying to get the captives out. That's the point of this. See, people think, oh, these black conservatives, they talk so they can pander to white folks. No, it's not. Black conservatives are like, we're doing what Jesus told us to do. We are fishers of men. We are looking for other black people like us and letting them know you don't got to be scared of these niggas no more. You condemn them to their damn face and dare them to touch you. You condemn them to their face and dare them to touch you because we going to call a law. We ain't going to kill them. We ain't going to mercilessly impel them through the heart like Karmelo would do. But if they touch us, we going to call a law and you're going to jail. This ain't about white or black. This is about peace, prosperity, and survival. America cannot go forward with degenerates. America cannot go forward with people who purposely undermine every value that represents America, everything that America stands for. Peace and prosperity is a part of what it means to be American. It's a part of the American experience. And if you threaten or jeopardize that peace and prosperity, I don't care what your color is. Would you like me to slap the horse on the ass to asphyxiate this bastard until he no longer exists? I'll do it. Because I have kids that I'm sending into this world. And I'll be damned if I lose them to a lowlife like Karmelo Anthony. I'll be damned. And if you don't feel the exact same way, you should turn your kids over to the authorities because you ain't even fit to be a parent. I'm tired of this mess. I'm tired of people calling something bad good and something good bad just because they're too immature to be honest. There's nothing dumb about this. You're dumb. You're just angry because we're standing up to your stupidity. Because your mama didn't raise you right. Your daddy didn't raise you right. Y'all got to understand, a lot of these people were raised in an animalistic way. And that's not just black people. That goes across the board. I've just seen some degenerate people all over. I knew a white dude named Allen. He used to wash his mouth out in the morning with soap. With soda. He did not brush his teeth. You think that guy grew up to be a Rhodes Scholar? No, he's still living under his mom, smoking 3 packs a day, morbidly obese, still not brushing his teeth with tartar caked up on his fucking gums. It's ridiculous. You think that guy's helping America? At least he's not hurting anybody. I could give him that. I'd take him over Karmelo. But we got to set a standard. That this country used to have a standard. That's what y'all got to understand. This country used to have a fucking standard. Black America used to have a standard. I would say Black America used to be the best of what we had to offer as Americans. What happened? Pookieism, degeneracy, always want to play the victim, glorifying degenerate behavior. It was, and when the big mamas and the grandmamas and granddaddies started dying, the ones who go out there tell your ass to get a switch and beat the hell out of you when you wasn't acting right, once they died off, right? In the millennials, I think I'm a millennial. Well, my generation, we dropped the ball totally. We dropped the ball. Our parents, they're right above us. I forgot what they are. They're right after boomers. I don't know what their generation is. People my mom's age totally dropped the ball. That's where the degenerate element came from. And then but see, your mom and daddy and stuff, they knew better because they came from a good generation. But that generation made things very comfortable for them. So they could practice degeneracy and smoke crack and stuff and still survive. Then they had a bunch of kids. And the values they passed on to their children were not the values that were passed on to them. They passed the degeneracy on. And now you have what you have today. My generation having kids, choosing not to raise them properly because everything else is more important. And now the kids is out here stabbing folks in the chest, murdering people, stealing people's cars, going to raid the downtown area, robbing old folks, fighting the cops. This is a generational thing. As soon as we understand that, the sooner we understand that, the better off we'll be. Now let's look at the other piece of evidence that totally destroys all these arguments that the degenerate element of Black America keeps on trying to make against the facts. This is the police officer body cam.
We saw in the case against track athlete Karmelo Anthony. The jury convicted and sentenced the teen to 35 years for the fatal stabbing of a fellow track athlete, Austin Metcalf.
Got off easy.
In one video, you can hear Anthony admitting to the stabbing.
It's the alleged suspect.
Okay. Well, I'm not alleged. I did it.
Okay.
You can hear him say, "I'm not alleged, I did it." Anthony's attorneys claim he stabbed Metcalf in self-defense. They have filed a notice to appeal the conviction. ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer has more on that story.
But here's the thing. They're saying this boy stabbed Metcalf in self-defense, right? My thing is, self-defense from what, son? What did he do? Oh, man, he was on top of me, beat my head against the ground. Man, he was choking the crap out of me. They was all on me, kicking me and stomping me. No, he put his hands on me. Sounding like somebody baby mama. He put his hands on me. You got to be black to understand that, because we've all heard that line before. The minute, if you are a black American and you are an honest person, the minute Karmelo Anthony said he put his hands on me, you knew that this boy was guilty. Because soon as I heard that he said that, I said, oh yeah. Yeah, this dude didn't touch him. He didn't do nothing serious to him. If you grew up in black culture, you know that he put his hands on me does not mean a malicious assault. That's not what that means. I'm black. I know. Black people say, don't put your hands on me. That means if you even touch me, I'm going to do something to you. That's what that means. So why is it that we can't just be honest about it? These fools arguing like they gonna go to jail. You can't heal. Look, what does it say? The first step to solving the problem is to admit you have a problem. Black America will not admit, well, the majority, I will say the majority of black America refuses to admit that we have a problem. Because you got the degenerates and the criminals, which I'll be honest, they only make up a small portion of black America. But this is the way black America differs from every other group of people in America. Get your pen and paper. What makes black America different from every other group in America? It ain't because we can dance good. It ain't because we run fast. My big ass ain't running fast. Maybe, yeah, I used to be fast in college. It ain't because we got an extra joint in our leg. It gives us superpowers. It ain't none of those things. It ain't because our hair nap up when water hit it. What makes black America truly unique is the fact that successful black American people, we are the only group in which highly successful people defend degenerate behavior as a way to connect and or identify with the group. We are the only group in America where highly successful people defend degenerate behavior as a means of connecting with the group. You got black folks living in Beverly Hills, won't even hang around another black person, but they will make every excuse in the book for a black criminal committing crime. Amazing Lucas is one of them. He in LA, I ain't never seen that boy in a black space. And believe me, I frequent black spaces. He won't be around anybody black. And I'm telling you, look on the internet, look at the black people defending Karmelo Anthony. These podcasters. What I want you to do is click their profile. Go through all their videos and identify when you see them around other blacks. These people hide from black people because they are afraid of the very behavior that they are making excuses for and perpetuating. They are afraid of the very behavior they are making excuses for. They would never send their child to a school with a kid like Karmelo Anthony. They would never even live on the same block as a kid like Karmelo Anthony. I got this black guy named Phil. He's black. He's married to a Filipino woman. Excuses all degeneracy, right? He told me, I don't even go to black areas. Well, then why are you excusing the bullshit that takes place in them? Maybe if you join my side and started calling it out, you would be able to go to the places where your people are in large numbers and have a good time, like the good old days. We're our own worst enemy. We make our own neighborhoods unlivable by excusing and defending the very people who make the neighborhood unlivable, make the neighborhood violent, degenerate. Man, I've seen people defend drug dealers. I've seen people defend rapists and murderers in the black community and make you out to be the bad guy for even calling that person out. This boy was, like you said, yes, Siamese. There was no way that boy was getting bullied, and this right here is going to show it.
Vince is saying, you know,
subscribe.
He ran away. He was scared of what he'd just done. But their whole, key point of the whole situation is that he had opportunity to run out of the stadium and really run away. But he stayed in the stadium. He ran to the track, found an adult, and stayed there. So trying to paint, his character as like, he realized what he'd done, but not.
If somebody is shooting,
Come on.
I'm going to keep you with me, okay, until they're with you. Is he breathing still?
He's trying, yeah. We're doing compressions and giving him mouth to mouth.
Okay.
Austin died at that track. I want to show you now the body cam video of when officers detained Karmelo Anthony, and I want you to listen to what Karmelo says and how his tone changes as he perhaps realizes what he just did.
hold on.
And I'm just protecting myself.
Where do you want me?
If somebody is shooting the victim, they need to be over there.
Under a memorial tent.
Don't reach for anything, all right, man? Stop right there for me.
Right there.
Dispatch 443, I got the suspects. And they're currently treating the victim. Again, he's on the north end of the stadium. All right. Any weapons on you like that? I'll look here.
White cop, white coaches, all white people around. Where the Klan at? How do you turn on the community like that? Like, let me tell you something. I'm a father, right? And just stay here for a second. Don't scroll. I'm a father. As a man, I would thank those people. I would thank those people for making sure my son got to the jail safely. This boy could have got killed out there. Not even on nothing racist. I'm telling you, if he would have did that in a black area, there's a good chance Karmelo wouldn't have made it out the stadium. A real man would have thanked those officers and thanked those guys. Man, look, man, I know it was a tragic. Like, I'm sorry. Thank y'all for getting my son to the court, to the jailhouse safe, man. Because as a man, I know what could have happened. I know what could have happened. But people just they don't want to be real. They don't want to be real. If you look at this,
He's trying, yeah. We're doing compressions and giving him mouth to mouth.
Okay.
Austin died.
If somebody is shooting the victim, they need to be over there.
Under a memorial tent.
Don't reach for anything, all right, man? Stop right there for me.
Right there.
Dispatch 443, I got the suspects. And they're currently treating the victim. Again, he's on the north end of the stadium. All right. Any weapons on you like that? I'll look here.
How long? He put his hands over. I know I'm not.
4-4, copy, I'll be in route.
No athletes. Help me, y'all back up a little bit. Come over here for me. Come over here.
4-4-7, clear.
I'm gonna put your handcuffs for now, okay? Dispatch 443, everybody can slow down. I got the alleged suspect in handcuffs right now, detained.
Everyone else can slow down. Suspects detained in handcuffs.
Hold on. You can open up the channel, and medics are clear to come in. Have them come to the northeast entrance. That's gonna be a gate that's wide open there, and then you come to the victim from there. This is the alleged suspect.
I am.
All right.
Dispatch is 432. Quick around that.
Okay. We'll figure that in. So nothing on your person at all?
No, sir.
Nothing?
No, sir.
Mind if I reach in your pockets and stuff and all that? Nothing been stabbing them?
No, sir.
Okay.
I have
I'm going to be out with this.
my phone.
I'm gonna be a little personal there, okay? Just to make sure.
My car's right here.
Okay. Yeah.
You want me to get up now?
And the saddest part about this is Karmelo seems like a respectful kid. He said, I know how it goes. I'm not alleged. I did it, right? Why are y'all making it about race? Everyone in that situation in that moment was 100% respectful. This didn't turn into a circus until people started inserting race in it to justify what Karmelo did. You're not going to justify stabbing an unarmed person through the heart at a track meet where you're not even supposed to have a weapon. Even if they could have footage of them going at it in a full-fledged fist fight, Karmelo still would have been guilty of manslaughter, murder, really, if he would have pulled out a knife and stabbed Austin. I don't see anything that tells me that this boy was getting jumped. It don't, like, just what I could see, it don't even seem like that type of, like, environment, like somebody gonna get jumped. It just looked like teen spirit, get out of our tent, blah, blah, blah. And then one person decided to take it to the next level. I think if they would have never inserted race in this situation, I believe Austin could have got maybe 10 years. The race, the incendiary nature of racial divisiveness, that is a monster. It's a monster of its own. And the problem is it gets out of control. The only thing Karmelo Anthony's parents should have said is thank you. Our son made a very tragic mistake. And we're just asking for leniency. But let me tell you guys a secret that I share about if you haven't been watching this channel. This is why people watch this channel. Did you guys know that Karmelo Anthony's parents never even asked for a psychological evaluation of their son? Their son could suffer from bipolar disorder. He could have a chemical imbalance because people keep putting up, oh, he had a 3.8 GPA, 3.8 GPA. That's fine. But do we really know what's going on in this boy's mind? Do we really know? There's all types of mental illness that doesn't even present itself until you mature. Why didn't they ask for a psychological evaluation? Oh, that's right. They were too busy trying to make everybody in Frisco, Texas a racist. They were too busy trying to prove that the Klan was out to get their son. The Klan woke up in the morning and said, you know what, today we gonna go get us a little nigga out of track meet and put him in jail. You dishonor your ancestors who really had to struggle and fight for survival against real racists and white supremacists who were peaceful people and hardworking and didn't hurt nobody. You dishonor their legacy when you try to paint this stuff as racially motivated. I'm not speaking trying to pander for white, black, whatever. I'm speaking for every person who's ever been falsely accused of being something they're not. And if you're black, you know exactly what that feels like. What did Nietzsche say? When fighting monsters, beware that you do not become when fighting evil, beware that you do not become the very monsters that you're fighting against. It's like black people fought so long against racism to just turn around and become the racists that they fought against for so long. You have to be able to step outside of yourself and say, wait a minute, am I perpetuating the same bull crap that my people been fighting against for all these decades and centuries? And you might, if you're honest, you might find that you are. I don't see any racism here. That's just me. But I'm a normal person. I'm a dad. When you're a parent and you're responsible for little lives, you owe it to them and yourself to be objective. How do you tell your kids, hey, be honest, don't go out here lying and, misrepresenting yourself? when you doing it at the drop of a damn dime. And you ain't lying, whoever said reparations, because this could be a play by black people thinking they're going to spin this into some type of reparations. Get your ass 10 to 20, repair that. But nah, nobody with sense is going for this mess. Let's see if there's anything else to play.
The victim's going to be underneath that tent over there, so I'll get medics.
Please subscribe, guys. Please
Memorial tent over there,
subscribe.
guys. All right.
He put his hands on me. I told him not to. He put his hands on me.
What's happening right now?
Sounded like a single damn mother. That, oh my God, if that was my son, all I could have did was hung my head in shame. He put his hands on me. I told him not to, and he did it. He put his hands on me. But do you notice that even in that, Karmelo didn't say they jumped on me. Karmelo said one person, singular, put his hands on me. I told him not to, and he did it. That right there. But you'll have black folks talking about, nah, he was getting jumped. Why doesn't Karmelo say that?
I think he was analyzing.
Memorial tent over there, guys. All right.
He put his hands on me.
Medics.
I think he was analyzing.
Memorial tent over there, guys. All right.
He put his hands on me. I told him not to. He put his hands on me.
What's happening right now? Victim is going to be standing to him right
Put his hands on me.
What's happening right now? Victim is going to be on the north end. They got staff standing to him right now.
Put his hands on me. I think he was analyzing.
Memorial tent over there, guys. All right.
He put his hands on me. I think he was analyzing.
Memorial tent over there, guys. All right.
He put his hands on me.
Yeah, I had to just play it for myself like 4 or 5 times just so I could make sure that I was hearing he put his hands on me. Not they was whooping my ass. Not they jumped me. Not they attacked me. Not this group of big old boys jumped all over me. It's none of that. He put his hands on me. I told him not to. He did it anyway. So how do you got black people on Beyonce's internet screaming, Austin got jumped? But Austin ain't saying that.
I told him not to. He put his hands on me.
What's happening right now? Victim is going to be on the north end. They got staff standing to him right now. This is the alleged suspect. All right. Already? No. We searched them. Got nothing on
I don't know what happened.
423.
Karmelo's so small, he taller than all the cops. I don't know if y'all noticed this, but if the body cam is on the cop's chest, Karmelo is taller than all these cops. He's not a small person.
Suspect. All right.
Oh, he's only 130. Do this boy look like he 130 pounds? Let's be real. Does this boy look like he's 130 pounds? They was like, Karmelo only 120 pounds. And they was jumping on him. Boy, this is a big old boy. This is a big old boy. This boy is not little at all. I could tell by look at the cops trying to grab his arm. This boy ain't no 100 and do you know how small 130 pounds is? Somebody say he a big old killer. All right.
No.
My black folks is in here right now. This boy is not little.
Suspect. All right.
Y'all know this dude is 6 feet tall. And you could tell right here.
No. We searched them. Got nothing
I
on
don't know what happened.
That back looked like 130 pounds to you. This boy is big as hell. There's nothing little about this boy. And then he's definitely big enough to defend himself. He's definitely big enough to defend himself.
423.
Oh, here go the clan waiting on him. They looking at his ass crazy as hell. Oh, they all racist. If they was really racist, you wouldn't have made your ass to that car.
That's fine. This is closer.
Let me do one more little check of you, okay?
Yes, sir.
You don't mind for reaching your pockets, anything like that? You good?
You're just wearing this one pair of pants?
No, man. I'm wearing some little underpants.
Let's see if they got to bend his head down and help him get
No,
in.
ma'am, I don't think so.
What's your name, man?
Karmelo Anthony, Karmelo.
Okay.
Pricing.
Fear of God. He wasn't reading his shirt.
Have a seat here real quick, man. Watch your head. Let me check your hood here, buddy, okay?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll tell you what, lean this way so you're not resting on your hands, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, see a little bit of blood on your hands there, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Small two, I'm on scene.
So your first name is Karmelo?
Yes, sir. Karmelo.
I wish the cop would have stood back and let us get a good look at it.
I don't know yet, man. Karmelo, C-A-R-A.
K-A-R.
K-A-R.
M-E-L-O.
M-E-L-O. Karmelo. What's your last name?
Anthony.
A-N-T-H.
O-N-Y.
O-N-Y. Where grade are you in?
I'm in 10th grade.
10th grade? You go to Emerson?
Shout out to
Where do you go?
everybody.
Centennial. Okay.
Y'all do me a favor, subscribe. 70%
Okay.
of you guys are not
All right, sit
subscribed.
tight for me real quick, bud, all right?
Rock with your boy.
There is no up-close video of the stabbing of Austin Metcalf. There is only this angle of the confrontation. It is from a camera that was mounted on the top of the stadium where the meet took place, and the camera is pointed at the tent which belonged to Austin Metcalf.
Black folks is like, man, I could see that dude's pupils. I'm like, you can't barely see shit. You can see a slight little commotion.
Only this angle of the confrontation. It is from a camera that was mounted on the top of the stadium where the meet took place, and the camera is pointed at the tent which belonged to Austin Metcalf's team. Karmelo's defense team argued at trial that Karmelo was invited under the tent, that he had a friend of his girlfriend who was on Austin Metcalf's team, and that friend had waved him over. Now, the state argued that Karmelo never should have been under an opposing team's tent, and that he refused to leave when he was told to go, and that led to a confrontation and a shove that turned to murder. Join us now to talk more about...
A shove, Metcalf pushed him. And when Karmelo said he put his hands on me, that was Karmelo like basically confirming, I got pushed. Like people don't realize that in Karmelo saying he put his hands on me, he was confirming what every single witness said. This ain't telephone. Have y'all ever played telephone? 23 people ain't gonna tell the same damn exact story by accident. You're not gonna coach 23 people and they all tell the same story. Most people, if they gotta do anything other than just say what they saw, they won't even go on the stand. Yeah, he pushed him. Did he deserve to die for that? That's my question. Yes, he pushed him. Did he deserve to die for that? But I'm telling you, the future of Black America is fatigue. Black people, I would say the majority, because let me explain this to y'all real quick. Stick with me. The amount of Black people who engage in degenerate behavior are a small portion. But what makes the Black community especially dangerous is the fact that you have Black people who are highly successful, well-educated, who know better, who would never do these things, who defend the degenerate element of our community. That's what makes it dangerous. And what that does is it removes shame, accountability, and really redemption from the equation. Why would a criminal change his ways? Why would a criminal change his ways if he knows he has his whole community behind him? Just tell me that. What incentive do I have to be better if I know that I will never be reprimanded or corrected by my community? Shame is a thing. It's something. It works. But what happens when you remove shame? Because everyone in the community makes excuses for it and perpetuates the same behavior. So much so that if you speak out against this behavior, you become a pariah. That is only existent in our community. I always like to think of that movie. You know that movie, The Fast and the Furious? You ever seen? Put a 1 in the comments if you ever watched Fast and the Furious. The very first one. Remember Fast and the Furious? Look. I'm a raccoon. I'm a raccoon because I'm saying this. And I want y'all to know these black people with white icons, avatars. Remember the movie Fast and the Furious, and there was an Asian gang. They had cars and stuff, and they did a little crime. But the father found out that the Asian boy was doing crime, and the boy walked in the house, and his daddy walked up to him, and the daddy slapped him across the face and basically was like, bam, you out of the family. I always remember watching that movie thinking, if that would have been a black family, that boy daddy and mama would have, first of all, his daddy probably wouldn't have been around. His mom would have walked up and said, baby, you want something to eat? I had an older black man tell me one time, he said, let me tell you something, nephew. He said, man, I was one of the baddest MFers in these streets when I was younger. He said, my thing was robberies. He said, I would rob stores, banks. I would rob people walking down the street. I'll rob bars, whatever, right? Black dude. He said, I remember my mama coming to court for me. He said his mom asked to talk to the judge. His mom said, I know my baby would never do these things that you saying he did. He said, do you know that judge was lenient on me because of what my mama said about me? He said, but I sat there listening to my mama tell the judge that her baby would never do those things that I was being accused of. He said, and in my head, I knew I did every damn thing they was accusing me of. He said, in my head, I knew I had done every damn thing that the court was accusing me of. That's the issue with Black America. Black America is the unassuming parent of the world. We in our community, it's filled with apologists. Oh, I feel sorry for this person, man. So I'm gonna let the rules don't have to apply to them. We are totally arbitrary, totally selective. One person does it, it's a problem. Another person, if a person we like does it, it's okay. A person we don't like does it, they need to be held accountable. I grew up in the black community. I know this is how we are. Even in our parenting, we got our favorite kid, can't do no wrong. Other kid getting their ass whooped breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 100% peaceful, productive citizens who want something out of life. I'm like, bruh, how do I raise my kids around these people? I live in a white neighborhood now. I grew up in the hood for real. Right? But I'm telling you, it almost seems like there's more honor among like degenerates than there is among people who are like for the most part not degenerates. Because the people you see on the internet making excuses for Karmelo Anthony, those are not like what the people we would call degenerates. The degenerates is watching TikTok and stuff, doing dances and all that, looking at food reviews, right? These are professional working people on this internet every day at work. Karmelo innocent. I saw it. The boys was jumping him. I saw it. They over here talking about, we're at the point where they're saying that Austin Metcalf fell on a knife. Can y'all believe that? We are at the point where they are saying Karmelo barely poked
new legal
Austin.
Team was announced.
And Austin fell on the knife. But let's go to this. Karmelo Anthony now has a new legal team for his appeal. And this is supposed to be an all-star group of lawyers. I don't know why this is news. You can't present no new evidence. This ain't even no trial. So how the hell it's just stupid to me. But hey.
Today, a new legal team was announced to represent Karmelo Anthony as he appeals his murder conviction. Earlier this month, the teenager was sentenced to 35 years in prison for the murder of Austin Metcalf at a track meet in Frisco last year. Anthony's legal team includes Russell Wilson II, who is a Dallas trial and appellate attorney. The team says they are serving pro bono and will pursue all available avenues of appeal.
There's so many ridiculous stories coming out of this. I'll tell you one thing. This is good for social media. I don't believe a single podcaster saying Karmelo is innocent. I don't believe a single one is actually sincere. If I hear a podcaster saying Karmelo is innocent, I know that they're grifting just for clicks and views. Look at Umar Johnson, sounding dumb as hell.
Austin fell onto Karmelo's knife trying to attack him because the knife is 3.5 inches. The cut was only 2. Loon, if I'm stabbing you, why am I going halfway with a knife blade that's only 3.5 inches? You fell onto my knife. Regardless, Loon, do you really think those 2 black boys who fell on that white boy's knife?
Time out, bro. I can't do it. I got to get my haircut. My barber here.
Bruh, this man Umar Johnson is saying Austin Metcalf was attacking Karmelo Anthony, and Karmelo Anthony, the innocent lamb of a man that he is, of a boy that he is, Karmelo Anthony, let me get my comb. Karmelo Anthony, leave me alone, Austin. Leave me alone. And Austin just came and jumped on his ass, and as Karmelo was falling back, Austin's weight came down on the knife and killed him. Are y'all fucking kidding me? And if that's what happened, we're going to go back to our first line of defense. Our first question, why didn't Karmelo say that? Man, I didn't mean to. He fell on the knife. I was just trying to scare him, and bro tried to jump on me, and he fell, and the knife stabbed him. I could have believed that. I could have bought that. I would have thought he was slightly less of a degenerate, maybe 2% less. But I could have bought that. That's actually like believable. But that's not what Karmelo said. Karmelo was like, nah, I jugged that motherfucker. Karmelo was like, yeah, I stabbed him. But it's because I stabbed him because that was Karmelo's story. I stabbed him because. And the because, everything after that was what was going to be dissected to determine whether or not this boy was going to be found not guilty. I don't know why Umar is shaming himself like that. I have no clue why Umar is shaming himself like that. But what I do know is that I'm not taking nothing Black America say seriously as long as we're hyper-focusing on stuff like Karmelo Anthony while we got situations like what happened in Chicago, 40 people shot, 8 people dead in one Juneteenth weekend. Supposed to be like a holiday for black folks. Juneteenth ain't nothing but the purge in Chicago. Juneteenth ain't nothing but the purge in Chicago. Every year I hear about Juneteenth, it's like I can predict at least 20 people gonna get shot. And it's like every year, the amount of people that get shot go up. And then like the people who die goes up. How is that not the purge if every year we could set our watch right now for Juneteenth next year, and I can guarantee y'all it's going to be a shooting spree in Chicago. Let's be real. People that sit up here on this internet, 23 witnesses with the same damn story. Nah, they lying. Karmelo's a real hero. He's a Black American folk hero. He's John Henry. He Paul Bunyan. Put him on the Black Mount Rushmore. This is what we do. Remember, we burnt America down over a crackhead. So you know we got the capacity to do some ignorant shit. And I'm just telling you, how long are you going to suffer through this stuff? How long? Like, how long are other black people gonna sit by and let these people just destroy our reputation in the country? How long? How long are we gonna let the craziest, most neurotic element of our community be in charge of our image? Black people used to say, the reason why the world don't like black people is because the white man exported a negative image of black people. Boys in the hood. What's it called? Boys in the hood, don't be a menace, right? Juice, all this stuff people say is negative, right? That's a lie. It don't matter what kind of movie black people are in, and it doesn't matter what kind of way black people are depicted in a movie. The only thing that matters is how you carry yourself. We're learning that with this situation with the World Cup, where all these Europeans thought America was one way, but then when they came to the World Cup, they're totally surprised. Wow, America is amazing. America is amazing. The media lied to us. They were told one thing, but when they arrived, they saw something different. Now, take Black America and do that. They come to America. They say, man, we heard all this bad stuff about Black America. Soon as they touch down, they open up the phone. Oh, look, Black Americans by the millions defended some degenerate who murdered somebody at a track meet. They've never experienced Black America, right? They've never experienced Black America. They say, the people say, mommy, you went to America? Yeah. What were those black people? I've never been around black people before. What were they like? You want to know what that conversation gonna look like? The kid gonna say, Mom, what were the Black Americans like?
Karmelo was doing. You just said that. That's what Karmelo was doing. Protecting his success.
All my life I had to fight.
All my life I had to fight.
Or at least that's how it felt growing up in the African American community, where many not only harbor but display a blatant disregard for loss of human life, much in the way we are witnessing in the fallout or aftermath of the Karmelo Anthony trial for the murder of Austin. What were the black people like?
I don't have an opinion. I don't have any here.
This is what they see.
That's what Karmelo was doing. I'm glad you just said that. That's what Karmelo was doing. Protecting his success.
That's what we export in every. No, if a negative image of us is being exported, right? When they get here, that's what they get to see. He was defending himself. Damn, man. She seems nice. Hey, y'all, be sure you like and please subscribe to the channel. 70% of you are not subscribed, and I definitely know y'all want to buy what I'm selling. Like, y'all definitely want to be here. But let's make a quick pivot. Let's go over to this situation in Chicago. 40 people shot. 8 people died while Barack Obama opens his $850 million presidential library. The president of hope and change. I hate the Obamas. I mean, yes, I do hate them. I was going to say, I do hate them. I hate them so much. I hate the Obamas because the Obamas never address what's really going on wrong in the black community. Obama instead says, hey, man, whatever you do is fine. As long as you vote Democrat, he don't give a damn. He ain't worried about nothing but continuing to enrich himself on the American taxpayer's dime. That's what Obama's focused on. This is to me, this is the craziest thing. You have Chicago, where people don't even know how they're going to make ends meet, where these Democrats have run on affordability. We're going to make everything affordable. They chased all the rich people out the city. They raised the taxes on all the poor people. Now, you got this bum, Obama, opening up. He's not donating this money to the poor people of Chicago. He's not opening up the Obama Center for At-Risk Youth, where he's teaching young men skills and trades. He spends $850 million of taxpayer money on a damn library. And then the day before the library's official opening, has a 3,000 person invite, elitist gathering where only rich and famous people can attend. And then they say, this is for the regular, average, everyday citizens.
It was a whole mix of people today. On the Obama's guest list included global leaders, regular citizens, change makers, former staffers, politicians, celebrities, and last but not least, some big musical acts.
Take it higher.
An opening ceremony capped off with music gold, star-studded musical acts weaved into speeches watched by an invite-only list of 3 former presidents and first ladies.
Invite only.
The crowd of 3,000 was sprinkled with celebrities, including Oprah, Steven Spielberg, and Tom Hanks. And there were plenty of local politicians and national ones, some possible Democratic presidential contenders.
At a time of just so much anxiety and despair, so much negativity, focusing on what's wrong, it's nice to see the spirit elevated at a time when, I don't care if you're a Republican, Democrat, a Trump supporter or not, we all need our spirit elevated.
California Governor Gavin Newsom and others say today's ceremony was a reminder of what was and what America can still become.
So wonderful to have this moment come in our history, particularly at this time. It was wonderful to see this beautiful family.
And the ceremony was a big family reunion for all the people who worked for Obama at the White House and during his campaigns, including former staffer Tommy Vider, now a host of Pod Save America.
I love the combination of great music and fun bands and cool people, and then all the stuffy nerds I worked with at the White House. When you get to see some economists dancing to Stevie Wonder.
There was deep pride among people who worked with the former president when he began his political career on the South Side.
Could you imagine being a Chicago resident who just watched your property taxes skyrocket by over 100%? There are people in Chicago who this year and last year saw their property taxes skyrocket 113%. But these elitists, the bourgeoisie, have $850 million to waste on building a damn library, right? While telling you that they are the party of affordability. I would have burnt that bitch down if it wasn't made of stone. I would have threw one tomato over the fence because they wasn't going to let me in. This is America. You the little guy, the stooge, you vote for the Democrat all down the line, right? They tell you we going to make everything better for you. We going to make everything more affordable for you. We going to make the rich pay. The rich leave. So they say, well, the rich ain't here no more, so I guess you got to pay. Skyrocket your property tax 113%. Got you crying in the street. Oh, by the way, we got $850 million for what? A library. This is what kills me about the socialist. Are you really socialist? Or are you only socialist when the name being stolen from is Jeff Bezos? The name being stolen from is Elon Musk. Why don't y'all steal from this? This is your taxpayer money being spent to build a library, a totally unnecessary library, because everything is online these days. $850 million when you got people in that city who don't know what where they going to get their next meal from. Come on, dog. I'm just saying, if I'm Obama, I'm like, man, I can't even in good faith, attach my name to something like that.
We used to play golf just down the street at Jackson Park, and nobody knew who he was. He lived just down the street. His office was down the street. So this neighborhood's about him, and I'm really proud of everything that they've done.
Well, today was for the dignitaries. Tomorrow is for the public. And the one thing that everybody here said today is that this center really is about uplifting regular people and democracy rather than Barack Obama himself.
So $850 million for a library is about uplifting regular people and democracy. But they're preaching socialism and everyone paying their fair share and no more wasteful spending and affordability. I'm just saying, I don't know if you Republican, Democrat, whatever you are, there's just something about that don't sit right with me. Please subscribe to the channel. I just don't get it. We needed an 850. I live in a city. I live in Long Beach, California. They have the Michelle Obama library on the north side of the city. Don't nobody go to that motherfucker. Don't nobody go to that library. That library is empty. I should go up there and start doing this podcast because no one's in there. They have like study rooms and stuff. No one goes in them. And that's what's going to be going on in that library. No one's going to be there. Libraries are not even a thing anymore. They're nice to have for like little kids. But ain't no adult or middle-aged person going to a library. We go to Barnes and Nobles. We just go buy the shit. Or you can get it online. An online library situation would have been nice. Since they're talking about saving the environment. These people talk about save the environment, affordability, pay your fair share, and then drop $850 million on something like it just ain't shit. Here you go, $850. It's like AOC going to the gala wearing the $100,000 dress while telling people she's an advocate for affordability and she's going to go after the rich. And a lot of the black contractors who worked on Obama's monstrosity are actually complaining, saying they didn't get paid. What's up with that? I mean, it's like you can't even make this stuff up, how hypocritical these people are. But as long as Obama got his library on the south side of Chicago, doesn't really matter if people getting got. Doesn't really matter if people getting gunned down. They don't care. They ain't worried about all that. They focused on what they gonna get. And I feel like Obama's could have had a very potent message. Being president gives you a lot of power. Why he ain't doing more to stop this violence? That's my question. Why didn't we use $850 million to combat violence in Chicago? Get these kids something to do after school.
City leaders and youth advocates saying the number of shooting victims from just this weekend alone is a good reminder of why organizations like peacekeepers and violence interrupters are so important and need continued support. A busy weekend for Chicago police and first responders processing scene after scene. The Juneteenth holiday coming to a violent end on the south side. We counted over 100 shell casings near 95th and Wentworth, where a drive-by shooting left 13 people injured just after 11 o'clock Friday night. The victims between 17 and 47 years old. Saturday night, around 10:15 on the west side, an 18-year-old boy died after being shot inside a home near Quincy and Cicero. Chicago police say they recovered a gun and arrested a 17-year-old boy in that case. A little over an hour later, in North Lawndale, officers were at the scene of a large gathering when they say gunshots rang out. 2 19-year-olds and an 18-year-old were shot. You can see what appears to be a bullet hole on the hood of a CPD squad car. The violence catching the attention of President Donald Trump, who's frequently said he wants to send in the National Guard to help with crime in the city. He took to social media early Sunday morning saying in part, quote, lots of killing going on in Chicago. Why isn't Governor Pritzker calling me for help? I could make Chicago a safe city. And while the rain kept some people away from this Juneteenth/Father's Day violence prevention awareness celebration in Chicago Heights today, Jamon Crawford with Peacekeepers says days like this are more important than ever.
Wait, so this idiot says days like the day where 40 people got shot and 8 people died are more important than ever. I mean, I'm not the smartest man in the world, but doesn't it kind of seem like they're benefiting from the violence?
It shows from the Inglewood neighborhood to the Austin neighborhood, all the way back to the south suburbs. All this violence has been going on over the weekend. That's why it's so essential that you have organizations out here.
Recent research from Northwestern University found a 41% drop in violence when they looked at more than 200 hotspots where peacekeepers are stationed.
So our day-to-day is being in hotspots where violence most likely occur. We are violent interrupters. We are there to mediate a lot of situations.
It's mediation they're hoping will continue bringing numbers in violence down. I'm Masal Rezai, CBS News, Chicago.
I don't even understand how you sell it. You try to like pull a win out of that. Oh, violence is overall down, but 40 people got shot on a holiday. Like, how the hell it, like, just don't even talk about your manufactured wins, because we know they're fudging the numbers. This guy's like, we need more days like today because they highlight the importance of a bunch of dudes who run around doing nothing. Peacekeepers been running around Chicago for over a decade. The crime's just been going up and up and up. The only thing that make the crime go down a little is when the thugs, O-Block and all them boys, when they move out of the city and go to Atlanta or LA or somewhere else. How are you patting yourself on the back in a weekend when 40 people got shot and 8 of those people died and it's a holiday? Juneteenth is nothing but the purge in Chicago. We can set our watch right now and know, for we can bet on Kashi or whatever right now that more than 10 people gonna get shot in Chicago next year on Juneteenth. We can bet on Kashi right now that more than 10 people are going to get shot in Chicago on Juneteenth in 2027. And Biden gave that to you. He gave you the purge. All right, so what do we got here? We got the Cheap Chimp became a YouTube member. Thank you, my brother, for becoming a member. He also gifted a membership. It's amazing. It's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hey, become a member. Get on this train. I promise if I blow up, I won't act like I don't know you. So he gifted one Defiant Brandon membership. So that's basically, I think, going to be a membership that I can give to someone for absolutely free. I got to look. I don't exactly know how to work that, but I know people who do know how to work that. So I'm going to gift that to somebody who's amazing. Thank you, the Cheap Chimp. We got some more super chats to get at real quick here. The Cheap Chimp, you're right. $5 holler. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate that. Thank you for all your support, man. And guys, feel free to support the content. We got a goal, $5 super chats. Did we reach the goal? I don't know if we reached it, but feel free to bless us with a contribution. And we go live daily at 12. I was off today because my friend had an emergency with her dog and I had to go help her. But we're going daily at 12. So while you're at work, this is a nice time too, though. This seems to be a good hour too. I appreciate the truth telling. Thank you so much, Mortimer Duke. Mortimer, we're back. This is off of Trading Places. And then they make a cameo on Coming to America. Mortimer Duke. That's old school right there. Thank you so much for the $5 holler. I appreciate y'all. The truth will set you free, man. Black America, the truth will set you free. Okay, we're going. We got more super chats, but I'm just scrolling down. Y'all was going crazy in the comments tonight. Please subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe. Over 70% of you are not subscribed. And subscribe and hit the notification bell. So in case I talk about something you're interested in, you'll be able to get a notification. Because we going up all summer, man. We traveling. We doing a lot on this channel. But I'm loyal to my viewers. because y'all showing me major love right now. So I definitely want to take y'all along with me. But we definitely going to be on top of this Karmelo Anthony stuff. What is this? FBA Young Lion, what up, boy? What is wrong with our culture? Man, bro, don't even get me started. We could really be here 10 hours talking about black folks. But the problem with black people is too many people feel sorry for black people. Too many black apologists. Too many people who are not black who feel guilt so they don't tell black people the truth. Tell black people the truth. Hey, Jamal, you're acting kind of ghetto right now. You want to tone it down? You want to take it down a tick? You're not going to hurt this dude's feelings. All gas, no brakes, my brother, day one. The young man was definitely radicalized on racism. I don't know if it rises to the level of MK Ultra programming, but he was definitely brainwashed. Thank you for the $9.99, man. I appreciate that. And you know, a friend of mine, he was telling me a story. He's in Alabama, that's how I would call him. But he was talking about this story with this dude back east who was like a real militant brother. He was a Hebrew Israelite, right? And he had a son. And he was raising his son, had the kid on point. Boy was real smart, you know, little well-educated young man. Dad worked with him. But he said one thing the dad would tell his son is like, hey, if anybody put their hands on you, you know what I'm saying? You got to go all out. You got to try to take them out, right? And turns out that the boy was at school one day and somebody was messing with him. And the boy ended up hurting the other kid real bad. The dad had put the kid in like martial arts training and all this. So somebody was messing with the kid and the kid ended up hospitalizing the other kid. And he was saying like, you know, he respected the fact that the father was keeping his son on point, educating him, teaching him the self-defense and all that stuff. But he was saying that when you're a parent, you always have to make sure you're explaining context to your child. You can't just say, like, I'll give you an example. I remember when I was younger, my grandma, she would always joke around. She wouldn't joke around, but she would say, yeah, if you fighting with somebody and they put their hands on you, if they bigger than you, grab something and knock them upside the head with it, right? Okay. As granny, she being feisty. In her mind, she's teaching you how to defend yourself, right? And if you are fighting somebody and they bigger than you and they getting the better of you and you pick up something and bust them in the head, okay, that's a fair fight. I mean, that's not a fair fight, but that's in the heat of the moment. Now, does that apply to if you're dealing with the police officers, with police? No. But if you don't teach your kid that, hey, respect authority. The police officers, they have the right to give you an order, lawful order, whatever they say, cooperate with them. If you don't explain that to your kid, then your kid leaves the house saying, well, my mama or my granny told me if somebody bigger than me put their hands on me, I could pick up something and bust them in the head. But that's in a specific or particular situation, right? That's in a particular situation. You can't just do that to any and everybody. And that's what I think. That's why I think the disconnect comes for a lot of black kids. Our parents they're good at teaching certain things, but sometimes we teach our kids things and don't explain to our kids the nuances of that. This don't apply to everybody because we're trying to project strength. But what we should be doing is trying to impart wisdom. People nowadays that kill your kid over something frivolous. So you shouldn't even teach your kid to be out here fighting nobody. You should be teaching your kid just walk away, man. You don't win no prizes or trophies for going to the grave. And folks is out here killing each other for minor fender bender car accidents. These days, avoidance. That's the wisest course of action. That's what Karmelo should have did. Use those wheels and run up out of there, Karmelo. They don't want you there. Go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. If they don't want you there, then you shouldn't even want to be there. Protest with your feet and get on. Yeah, news story. But yeah, that's me. That's what I tell everybody, you know, who I talk to about, you know, being somewhere where they're not wanted. I go to a store. I see black folks nowadays. They go to a store, they don't get something the way they want it. They're complaining, cussing people out. You see the old lady, she just died trying to fight with did y'all see that story? Where the old lady died trying to fight with the worker at the fast food place? She punched the worker and then the manager took off on her. And she got beat up and then she sat at the table and died. I tell people, protest with your feet. If you're not getting the service you want at a fast food place or something, just never go back. I will let someone give me bad service. And in my mind, I'll be making a mental note, I'm never coming back here. No one gets hurt. Only person who loses is them. They lose my money. They lose my patronage, right? They lose me as a customer. But no one has to die. No one has to get hurt. No one loses anything. And I promise you, if more people took that approach, we would live in a more peaceful world. Everybody, I'm gonna give y'all some homework. I don't know if y'all know. There's a show. It's on YouTube. It's called The Outer Limits. Have you guys ever heard of that show? The Outer Limits old school show. I was just watching this episode today because I like watching The Outer Limits. And the episode was called Monday. Oh, wait, no. Right here, Abduction. Go watch this. If you've never watched this, it's called Abduction. And basically, these kids, they are abducted by an alien from at school while they at school. And it's 5 of them. And the alien give them 5 hours to decide which one of them die so the other 4 of them can live. It has a great plot twist on the end. To me, it goes hand in hand with this Karmelo Anthony situation. And I just watched this today. This is when I watched this, I said, damn, this is what's going on now. I said, this is what's happening right now. See, but this is why the world was different a little back in the day, because we had like media, even though it had its bad side, there was like balance, right? You had the people talking stupidity, but you also had an equal number of people talking that real, imparting wisdom. This is way from the 90s. Go watch this episode. Season 7, episode 16 of The Outer Limits, Abduction. You will not regret it. And let me challenge you. If you feel like this video is relative to now, give me a subscription. Subscribe. Just subscribe. Just the subscribe button. But guys, I'm not going to prolong this. It's an hour 30. It's 10 o'clock at night in California, so I know it's late wherever y'all at. Go watch this episode. Thank y'all so much for being a part of what we're doing over here. It's real. It's up. I appreciate y'all. We're going to keep on trying to spread accountability. If no one else does, then I guess it'll just be us. Thank you so much for watching us. I appreciate everything you do for me and this channel. Till the next time, take care of yourselves. But most importantly, please take care of each other. Peace.